capitalism, socialism, liberalism, conservatism, communism, theism, atheism, humanism, Zionism, jihadism, evangelism, Hinduism, Taoism, Confucianism, Buddhism, Marxism, leftism, fascism, spiritualism, individualism, collectivism. The list could go on with the many ideologies introduced throughout history, those that end in ism and those that don't. Many openly identify with one or more of these ideologies. Others do so discreetly. Some seek to counter these ideologies, creating and identifying with another in the process. And then there are those who actively avoid identifying with any ideology at all. Regardless of the ideologies themselves or our relationship to them, they all present an illusion of choice. It's as though we are children in a candy store, surrounded by thousands of varieties of candy. Yet, as we sample each one, we come to a sobering realization. They all taste the same. And what is that single taste that permeates all the colorful varieties of ideologies? It is the prophecy of an imposed future utopia, a utopia so alluring that the present becomes a mere stepping stone, where the ends justify the means. The candy is wrapped in beautiful packaging and colorful marketing, often adorned with slogans. These wrappers promise that this candy is somehow better for everyone, despite our vastly different tastes. This outer appearance, frequently manifesting as a sense of righteousness, provides the moral illusion to justify actions that create clear negative externalities. Over the centuries, nearly all ideologies that once dominated faced a day of reckoning. Those whom the ideology oppressed or failed ultimately revolted, full of fervor, aiming to create a quote-unquote better society than the one they inherited. And herein lies one of humanity's greatest mistakes. When we talk about creating a quote-unquote better society, we return to that same singular taste, striving for a future utopia where the ends justify the means. This striving leads to inconsistencies in character. When revolutionaries take power, they often commit the same atrocities as those they overthrew, justifying their actions as necessary to achieve their prophesied utopia. For example, one regime may persecute a group of people. When the revolution occurs, the new regime often retaliates by persecuting members of the previous regime. These actions are justified as quote-unquote righting a wrong, as though those individuals are inherently wrong rather than condemning the specific actions they committed. The first regime's actions created undesirable outcomes, leading to revolt. But rather than focus on those actions, the second regime condemns the people themselves as undesirable. This creates the moral foundation for the second regime to repeat the same harmful actions under the guise of moral superiority, believing this time the outcomes will align with their vision of utopia. Inevitably, this regime is replaced by a third, often composed of individuals alienated by the second regime or survivors of the first. The cycle of retaliatory acts continues, perpetuating human suffering. This pattern is not limited to political ideologies, it's prevalent in religion as well. Schisms, or the abandonment of religion, often arise when one finds the initial doctrine too restrictive or flawed. Yet what emerges in its place is frequently just as restrictive or flawed. With all of this outlined, the natural question arises, If there is perceived injustice, what should be done about it? And this is where things get tricky. For most of human history, the default response has been to quote-unquote fix or quote-unquote right a wrong, often under the banner of justice. This concept of justice frequently employs the vengeful eye for an eye rhetoric. Yet, as the old adage warns, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Few stop to ask, does the world need to be fixed or changed? Is this very notion the root of our collective suffering? Around the world, children are encouraged to change the world. At first glance, this sounds noble. But when we look deeper, the implication is clear. The world is a fundamentally broken hellscape and needs correction. Not everyone agrees with this premise, and even among those who do, their visions of what needs fixing are vastly different. So what is the path forward? Place the individual above the ideology. Treat ideologies as hypotheses to be tested, not as identities to cling to. Even when others identify strongly with an ideology, look beyond it to see the human being. Two people may hold the same beliefs, but their journeys to those beliefs are shaped by their unique, complex individuality. It is also crucial to recognize that the individual transcends the ideology. Ideologies emerge from the mind, which, while powerful, is just one aspect of our humanity. As such, ideologies, collective manifestations of the mind, cannot encompass the full depth of our shared experience. When we approach others with genuine curiosity rather than the urge to correct or fix, we pave the way for a truly better world, and yes, this time better without the quotes. This better world is not a utopia built on abstract ideologies, but a reality rooted in acceptance, understanding, and compassion for all, even those deemed deplorable by a given ideology. It is a world where individuality is celebrated rather than suppressed by the collective mind's figments.